T minus 29 minutes. T minus 28 minutes. T minus 27 minutes. T minus 26 minutes. T minus 25 minutes. T minus 24 minutes. T minus 23 minutes. T minus 22 minutes. T minus 21 minutes. T minus 20 minutes. T minus 19 minutes. T minus 18 minutes. T minus 17 minutes. T minus 16 minutes. T minus 15 minutes. T minus 14 minutes. T minus 13 minutes. T minus 12 minutes. T minus 11 minutes. T minus 10 minutes. T minus 9 minutes. T minus 8 minutes. T minus 7 minutes. T minus 6 minutes. T minus 5 minutes. T minus 4 minutes. T minus 3 minutes. T minus 2 minutes. T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I feel you passing by. The midnight sadness grows. You know I love your lies. You know. I see you passing by along a lonely road. Oh, how I love the way time goes by. I feel so heavy. 2 times, way too many, and I'll go again. Baby, I'll go again. My mind's about to blow. It's taking all control. This ride goes on and on. And on and on and on. I can't keep holding on forever. On and on forever. You know I like
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Tuesday. I actually thought it was Wednesday, but it's only Tuesday. But nevertheless, welcome to the channel with Let's Talk with Mo. We've got a few things we're going to talk about today. Before I do, please make sure to hit that like, the share, the subscribe, all that stuff. Please make sure to also subscribe to my other show, Somewhere in the Middle, which has its own YouTube channel as well. And you'll be able to watch my evening show tonight that I do with Suni every Tuesday and Friday nights. Actually, I forgot this Tuesday, we're moving the show to Wednesday. So tonight we're not going to have a show with Somewhere in the Middle. It's actually going to be tomorrow, but still head on over there and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. It's oh so important. And also, if you guys would like to support the channel, my channel here, you can always super chat a donation if you'd like to, or if you want to super chat a question, you can do either one, and it's super appreciative so that I don't have to fake my own kidnapping, you guys, for attention and money. That's a little hint as to what we are talking about today. We're going to be talking about the latest update with Carlee Russell. The police gave a second press conference yesterday, so we're going to talk about what they said there. We're also going to talk about what is going on with all the donation money that was donated to Carlee Russell. There was lots of money. They're not giving it back. Okay. And you're going to find out why. Then we're going to talk about this oh so mysterious death that has happened in the backyard of former President Obama and Michelle Obama's home in Martha's Vineyard. They have a pond back there, and something fishy happened. Well, is it no pun intended, fishy in a pond, right? Is it fishy? Should we be, having all these conspiracy thoughts, or is it really like something to be like, something doesn't smell right about this? We're going to talk about that as well. And then also, I did a little quiz or poll on my Instagram the last couple of days, both to men and women. And I wanted to talk about the results. There's a good reason why I wanted to do this poll, but the results really, I want to say they shocked me, but at the same time, they didn't shock me. But I think it's important that we talk about it because, well, you'll see. There's a lesson in here for the ladies and for the guys. So stay tuned for that. We're going to hit that topic last. But first, I think we're going to talk about the Carlee Russell update. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up here the latest on that. And I'm also going to pull up the a short clip of the press conference. It wasn't very long. I want to say like it was maybe 6 minutes or so. And I wasn't expecting there to be a press conference because I thought after last press conference that what more was there to say? I mean, they basically came out and said there was no evidence showing that, she was kidnapped or anything like that. So I was surprised when they came back with a secondary press conference, and I watched it because I thought for sure it was going to be that Carlee herself was, issuing some type of a statement. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of this press conference here, and then we are going to talk about it. So let me just share my screen here, and then we will see. All right, here we go.
Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone for attending again today. I want to thank the members of our department and all of law enforcement who played a role in the investigation of this case. Last Wednesday, July 19th, we held a press conference and provided you with the facts of the Carlee Russell disappearance. We told you the investigation was ongoing. We helped you determine where Carlee was during the 49 hours of her disappearance. Today, I've talked to and received a statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carlee Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carlee to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement in its entirety, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone during the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carly as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carly, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Anthony to further discuss this case. We're currently in discussions with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in Bessemer about possible criminal charges related to this case, and we will announce those charges when and if they are filed.
All right, with that, we'll take a few questions.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and stop it there because there wasn't really much more given as far as the questions that were asked and the answers that he was able to give, because obviously you heard that the statement that he read came from her lawyer, right? So obviously that was going to be a very general statement. Now, apparently Carly was supposed to be actually meeting with the Hoover Sheriff's Department yesterday and then changed her mind and issued the statement through the lawyer. As far as I know, the parents have yet to speak to them either. But as you heard, her statement is she went in on this all by herself. She had nobody helping her. She had nobody helping to plan this whatsoever. She did this all by herself. And of course, as always, she is asking for prayers, right? Which, hey, you know what? I don't withhold prayers hardly. I say hardly ever. I feel like there's some people that just don't deserve my prayers, but we'll leave that at that. But you know, I want to talk about this because I was actually perusing Carly's Twitter page the other day, or we don't even call it Twitter anymore. Now it's like X, right? I was perusing her X page, and just to see, right? Like just to go way, way back, just to see like what it was that, you know, if anything stood out or anything like that. And, you know, what I did notice is she spent quite a bit of time online. She was one of those people that's posting all the time. Like literally, I woke up, I'm feeling this way. I'm going to go have lunch. This is what I'm having for lunch. I'm so mad, you know, at my boyfriend. You know, friends can be so fake. Just all kinds of statements on there, which really is like, to me, a red flag that somebody needs a lot of attention. You know, there's somebody that likes attention. So, you know, without hearing her direct reasoning, which I would like to hear why she did this, because I'm just curious what she's going to say and how she's going to admit to it. It's obvious that she needed attention. Now, this is a crazy way to go about it, but nevertheless, this is what she chose to do. Personally, I smell some type of insanity, mental health, you know, defense coming our way. Because, you know, he did say when and if charges are going to be filed, but we know, I mean, gosh, if there are not charges filed, like that would be insane. You guys can literally look back at stories where people just called 911, let alone like multiple state and federal agencies were involved in the situation. Okay. But just people calling 911 as a hoax is a very, very serious crime that people have gone to jail for. So why they wouldn't press charges, I don't know, but I'm sure that they are trying to figure out like what the severity of those charges would be. I would hope that they're not going to be any less because she says, oh, you know, I was having a bad day, or, you know, I'm having mental health issues or anything like that. Like I would hope that they're not going to go easy on her at all. Hey, Sonia, how you doing? Long time no talk, and thank you. So I'll be honest with you. I hope they throw not just the book at her, but the entire bookshelf. Okay. And this is why, not because, not because she's a Black woman and we need to make an example of her, but because this was a stupid thing to do. And we have to send the message that you cannot do this type of stuff, that it is unacceptable, that there are going to be consequences for this type of behavior. Okay. So if we do not throw the book at her, just like I said we should do when Jussie Smollett did the same thing and faked his whole hate crime, race crime, whatever you want to call it. And you know what? He didn't get the book thrown at him. In fact, he got a very, very light sentence. Now, granted, he's a celebrity, he's in the public eye and all this other stuff. Carly Russell is not in the public eye. So I think, here's our second chance to really make an example of her. It also is going to teach her a lesson. She's a young girl. Okay. She might get a couple years. I don't know. Maybe a hefty fine. I would hope she get a hefty fine. But I think if we don't take serious action in this case and really hold her accountable, we're going to be making a huge mistake. So that's what I have to say about all that. But I also wanted to talk about the donations that were made to Crime Stoppers. So my understanding is the Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama raised around $63,000, okay, for when this whole thing came up. And they announced yesterday that the donations will not be funded. Okay. Now, I put a poll up on my Instagram page and I was asking, do you guys agree with this situation? Like, do you guys agree with this decision? Do you think that they should return the $63,000 in donations to the people who donated it now that we found out that this is a hoax? And the first question I had was, where does this money go to? Right? Like, what is this used for? So I'm going to read a little bit of an article here, and then we're going to talk about what I found when I researched that. Okay. In addition, by the way, Carly Russell's former boyfriend has also spoken out after authorities revealed that this was a hoax. So they might mention a little bit about this in the article. Okay, so let's see here. Miss Russell's ex-boyfriend, Thomas Simmons, posted a statement on his Instagram hours after yesterday's press conference, stating that he felt blindsided. He said, Carly's actions created hurt, confusion, and dishonesty. I was made aware of the false narrative after coming to the defense of my ex, Carly Russell. Myself and my family, our family's nature was to react in love and genuine concern. We are disgusted by the outcome of this entire situation. Authorities said they have contacted the district attorney's office in regards to potentially bringing charges against Miss Russell, which is what they said. So, as I stated, they are not going to be giving back those donations. But when I looked up to see what these donations go towards, because I wasn't really aware of what they go towards, I found out that Crime Stoppers actually uses the donations in any situation, obviously, to offer a reward. So like when the police announce that there is an X amount of dollar reward for the safe return of, XYZ individual, that's where that money comes from. I'm sure there is some money put in from the city, but this particular organization, Crime Stoppers, uses it for that. They also use it to work hand in hand with the media and with the public in finding information that can lead to solving crimes. Now, you guys are probably saying, but we already know that this was a hoax. So what is there to solve? Exactly. I think even though she's made a statement that there was nobody else involved in this disappearance or in this hoax, and she went in all by herself, I think that in addition to the cost that not only the Hoover City Sheriff's Department has incurred, as well as all the other multiple agencies that were a part of the search for Carly Russell, to include the FBI, by the way. there's money and resources, there's volunteers. Now, I know that the city has funding for that, but not really, y'all, because as you recall, we had this huge movement to defund the police, right? So, where do you think that they take those things from? They take funding from those types of things, right? So, I don't know how much money the city actually gives to the said police departments to put towards these types of things. However, we're going to read this here and see what they say. So, Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama initially said they would give back the $63,000 donated during the search for Russell, but reversed its statement hours later. The investigation is still ongoing, and accordingly, there is no basis to refund any contributions at this time. Furthermore, the Hoover Police Department has not requested for any donor contributions to be released or refunded. So that tells me that the Hoover Police Department has a bit of a say in how this money is used. Okay, so they're basically saying, don't give it back just yet. Bob Kopis, the local organization executive director, last week said some of the donations have already been returned after Russell reappeared. Now, they didn't really go into why some donations were returned and why some were not. But if you're one of these people that made a donation, no matter how big or small, to this situation, I would definitely reach out to Crime Stoppers or go onto the website where you donated the money and see if there is an option to request a refund. The reason why I say that is because I know for a fact that if you donate to presidential campaigns, you are able to request a refund, I think as far as a year after you have made the donation. So I wouldn't see why you couldn't do that. I think maybe on an individual basis, you could probably do a request to get your money back. But I think what they're saying here is as a whole, they're not going to go and process all these returns right now. So the $25,000 donated by the Birmingham Board of Realtors, I guess they made a sizable donation, and the $20,000 offered by an anonymous donor were returned. So those large donations were returned. About 60 other donors pledged almost $13,400, much of it through PayPal accounts provided by Crime Stoppers. Russell disappeared, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. Okay, so there's nothing more there as far as that article goes. But let me know what you think in the comments box below. Do you think that they should get their money back? Or are you happy to donate it to the police who may or may not be defunded? And that's why they can't really afford to put too many resources towards it. Okay, let me just go to the comments section. Yes, I am aware that LeBron James's oldest son had a cardiac arrest during his basketball practice at USC. And my prayers go out to him because that is very sad. Nobody wants their children in a situation like that. So regardless of my thoughts about LeBron, I do send my prayers to him and to the family. Luckily, it seems like he's going to be okay. Attorney Emily D. Baker, love her show, by the way. If you guys don't watch Emily Baker on YouTube, definitely check her out. She is an attorney, a lawyer, maybe attorney. And she's got an amazing show where she does podcasts on things that are going on. So she said here, you need to request your donation back. Not sure where to go through that. Yep. So there you go. There you go, guys. Request your donation back. It's not that big of a deal, but of course they make it a huge headline to seem like, they're just keeping all your money, and that's not fair. So that's great. But yeah, definitely subscribe to Emily Baker. Okay. She's got I watched her all throughout the Johnny Depp trial, all throughout the Gabby Petito saga. She's amazing and she does really good breakdowns. I'm pretty sure I could go get a law degree because of her. All right. So let's talk about the chef, Obama's chef, Tafari Campbell. He is dead after a paddleboarding accident at Martha's Vineyard. Okay. I'm going to try to pull up, I should have done this probably before I went live, but I'm going to try to pull up an overhead of Obama's house so that you can see this pond for yourself. But I have some interesting things to say. So, but let me just read the article in case you don't know. Okay. Local authorities confirmed that the paddleboarder who went missing over the weekend at Martha's Vineyard was former President Barack Obama's private chef, Tafari Campbell. The body of Campbell, who was 45, was recovered from Edgartown Great Pond by Massachusetts State Police divers a little before 10 a.m. on Monday. The recovery occurred about 100 feet from the shore, which is not a lot at all. And by the way, I will note that I have read other reports that this location, 100 feet from the shore, is only about 8 to 10 feet deep. Okay. Tafari himself was about 6 foot. Okay. So keep that in the back of your mind. Emergency responders were sent to a property belonging to former President Barack Obama for reports of a drowning at around 7:46 p.m. Sunday. So he drowned, or he started to drown, or it was reported 7:46 p.m. on Sunday, and his body was recovered at 10 a.m. on Monday in a pond. Okay, so I'm just going to stop right there because just that sounds weird to me. Okay, and when I show you the picture of this pond, it's not very big. We're not talking a lake, we're not talking an ocean, we're talking a pond. 100 feet from the shore. It took hours upon hours to recover a man who fell off a paddleboard and couldn't save himself from a pond. Okay? So, yeah, I'm going to talk about your comment there. Gooch. I love that. All right. So, a fellow paddleboarder reported that he had not resurfaced. Okay. So he was paddleboarding near the Obama residence when he fell off the board without a life jacket and drowned. And he was with somebody. He was with somebody else. And that's the person that reported the drowning. The Virginia native was visiting the area, but was not accompanied by either former President Obama or his family. Campbell was a beloved part of our family, stated the former president and First Lady Michelle Obama. When we first met him, he was a talent sous chef at the White House, creative and passionate about food and its ability to bring people together. In the years that followed, we got to know him as a warm, fun, extraordinarily kind person who made all of our lives a little brighter. Campbell has been staying with the Obama family since they left the White House in 2017. We asked Tafari to stay with us, and he generously agreed. He's been part of our lives ever since. Our hearts are broken that he's gone. Tafari is survived by a wife and their twin boys. Very sad situation that their dad has lost his life. The investigation into Campbell's death will be conducted by the State Police Detective Unit for the Cape and Island District of Edgartown Police. So I'm going to see if I can pull up an aerial view of Obama's house on Martha's Vineyard. Let's see if I can pull this up here. In the meantime, I'm going to look at this comment. They found the bullets that matched the bullets they assassinated Tupac in Keefe's house in Las Vegas. Yes, I did see that. We'll do a follow-up show on that as well, because I'm wondering where that's going to go. DOJ indicted Trump for the death of Obama's chef. I saw somebody already posted that he was indicted for Tupac's death. So, man, Trump is a busy guy. He's a busy guy. You know what I mean? He is a busy guy. He's out here just slaying people. He's slaying people. Okay, here we go. We have a good picture. Okay. So this image that I'm about to show you here is the property, Obama's property. Beautiful property, by the way, on Martha's Vineyard. And when I first heard of the drowning and I was like looking up where he could have drowned, I was thinking it was this, because I was like, surely, I mean, you could drown in this. But no, ladies and gentlemen, look to the left. Okay. This is where Tafari drowned, is this little pond right here. And I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger so we can get it. Oh, wait. Why am I making? Okay, there we go. Hello. Can we just? Okay, there we go. So this right here is the pond where Tafari drowned. Okay. Now, obviously, you see a lot of brush there. I don't know if that's the brush that was existing when he drowned. It could have been cleared out, but he was just in here. He was just in here. So imagine 100 feet offshore. This can't be that deep, y'all. This can't be that deep. So, I'm just saying, like, it sounds a little sus. Okay. And I don't want to get into this conspiracy theory because you know how we think about the Clintons and how everybody associated with the Clintons, that dies is obviously like, but that's not always the case. Okay. So some of the people that they have said have been off by the Clintons were like in their 80s and 90s. So I'm not believing all of that. Do I think that they could be dangerous people? Absolutely. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they kill everybody. So that's kind of neither here nor there. Now, the other interesting thing that people were pointing out, I'm going to pull up his former tweet or maybe his Instagram page so that we can read this. So this was a while ago. Okay, I'm gonna put that out there. This was a while ago, and somebody pulled this off of his I think this is Instagram. Sorry, his Instagram page, which I did try to find his Instagram page, by the way, because the name is listed here, but I didn't find it. But this is a picture that he posted with him and his wife. They were in Aruba, and he said, "Me and at Food for Thought One," which I'm assuming is his wife. But one of the hashtags in here is "still can't swim." Still can't swim. So that tells me, even though this was a while ago, Tafari couldn't swim. Now, could he have learned to swim? Yeah, he could have learned to swim. He could have learned to swim between this trip and, being in this pond, paddleboarding without a life jacket and obviously no leg attached to the ankle thing that's attached to paddleboards. I paddleboard, so I know how paddleboarding goes. I'm very familiar with paddleboarding. But I don't know. It just seems very odd to me, right? So this is what we know. We know that the Obamas were not there. He was visiting. Okay. So obviously he's their personal chef. I don't know if he goes everywhere with them or even where they are at right now, but he's their personal chef. He was visiting. He decided to go to the house, do a little paddleboarding with whoever was there because they haven't named who that person is. And something happened where he fell off the board in alleged 8 feet of water. His partner that was with him, I'm just making a guess that guy couldn't swim and was too scared to jump into 8 feet of water and help his friend. So instead of like extending a hand to Tafari, who by the way is 6 feet tall and probably could have stood up in 8 feet of water. I mean, I can stand up and I'm 5'6" and I can stand up in 6 feet of water. So why somebody who's 6 foot couldn't at least, like, even if you went under, you could probably like push yourself off the bottom. Unless there was some type of cardiac arrest or some type of situation where he was completely passed out and he was dead weight. And this guy could in no way get him onto this paddleboard to at least float him to shore. He leaves Tafari to drown in the pond, goes all the way back up the path from the pond to the house, which you guys saw how far that is, calls 911 and reports there's a problem. They come out, and it takes till the next day to pull a 6 foot tall man 100 feet off the shore of a pond that is 8 feet deep. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but something doesn't add up. Okay. So here's the rumors, so we can just address all the rumors right now. So we have 3 options here. Okay. 3 options. We can either pretend this is some freak paddleboarding accident and move on. We can maybe make the assumption that Tafari has been exposed to, things that the normal person wouldn't be exposed to working for the Obamas. Maybe a little too many pizza parties, if you guys catch that reference. Pizza parties, pizza gate, hot dogs. Hot dogs is another code word. And if you don't know what I'm referring to when I say Pizzagate, hot dogs, and pizza, it was exposed through the Pizzagate controversy that the words pizza and hot dogs were used as code words by pedophiles. And there were many, 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 after the Jeffrey Epstein thing came out, there were many, many, many emails that surfaced. Okay. And this is probably why Hillary went and doused her servers with bleach. But there are many, many documents and emails and communications that surfaced where Obama himself was ordering, 60 pizzas that he needed to fly in. Now, I don't know why you would need to fly in 60 pizzas. There's also emails where he was like, hot dog party, and he was sending these emails to like very high ranking officials, right? You would think if you're having a high ranking official over for, a dinner, that you would be having, a little bit better cuisine other than hot dogs and pizza. But, we have to kind of factor that in, right? So there's that. Okay. Then there is the rumor about Obama, taking a liking to the fellas. We have a guy, I don't remember his name. He came out and he said that he was propositioned sexually by Barack Obama. Then there's that whole rumor about Big Mike, AKA Michelle, that she's not necessarily a woman. This is alleged. This is not fact, but I'm just putting out all of the conspiracies here. Okay. So we can just assume this was a freak accident. Tafari saw too much and he had to go, or Obama made a move on Tafari. And because Obama doesn't want to come out the closet, Tafari, sorry, buddy. Sorry, you had to go. Okay. This is no laughing matter because it is very, very sad that this young man with so much to live for, obviously beautiful wife, beautiful kids, seemingly beautiful life, is now no longer with us. And we don't know why. Okay. Needless to say, I am sure that at this very moment, Biden's personal chef is shaking in his boots. Okay. President Biden, Hunter Biden, all the Biden chefs. Okay. They have got to be having some thoughts this morning. Okay. I know they are surfing the classifieds for chef jobs that, could potentially be an option, because I don't know if being a chef to some of these people is the career move you want to make, because it may be the last thing you do, right? Anyways, I will keep you all posted on this story if there is any more to tell, but prayers out to Tafari and his family. Okay. All right, guys. So last but not least, we're going to talk about this poll that I did on Instagram. And the reason why I did it was because I'm constantly listening to conversations on the internet about, like from the red pill community, and how men should be a certain way and how women should be a certain way. And, you hear a lot of people say, well, I do things this way, right? I do things that way. But meanwhile, the stat right now is that 70% of marriages are ending in divorce. And I'm sorry, not 70. I think it's more like 30-something% of marriages are ending in divorce, and 70% of those are initiated by the woman. So I was like, whoa, that's interesting, right? Why would that be? So here's the question that I posted, and I'm going to read this off my phone. And I had a question for the women and I had a question for the men. So I did two different polls. Question was to the women. When you open your eyes, so you're laying in bed, what is the first 3 things you are doing? So I gave the example: checking your phone, kids wake you up, so you're tending to them, think about your day, or check in with your husband. Those were the examples I gave. But you could type whatever applied to you. And I said, please don't answer with the obvious stretching and snooze button and all this other stuff, right? So then I said to the guys, when you open your eyes, what's the first three things you're doing? Well, I got no answers from that. So I had to rephrase that question to say, when your wife wakes up, what would you like her to do in regards to you only? Okay. Something that would only benefit you, husbands. And if you missed this poll, I'm very sorry that you did, because it was very interesting, to say the least. Now, the ladies, they love a poll. Let me tell you, because I got over 100 responses, and I'm not going to put any of the responses up here because I want to keep those responses confidential. But what I did want to do was read to you guys some of the responses that I'm getting. Okay, so you guys can kind of weigh in your thoughts. I'm going to read what the ladies responded, and I'm going to read what the guys responded. Okay, so here's some of the answers that I got. Check my phone, take the dogs out. If kids are up, get them breakfast or wake them up if I'm not. Another person said, work out, get coffee, homeschool my 2 kids. Now, keep in mind, these are all married ladies. One person said, work out. Another person said, check phone, greet my husband. So she says hello. And oops, what happened here? Okay. Another person said, Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there. I'm back. But you'll think twice. You'll think twice before you reach for that phone. And if you need to know what time it is, maybe you can get yourself one of those old school clocks that have the digital number of the time so that you don't have to touch your phone. And maybe if your kids aren't banging down your door, which I understand as a parent that happens sometimes, maybe you don't go wake them up right away. Maybe you spend some time checking on your husband, or if he's not there, calling him, or just checking on his spirit just to make sure he's good to go for the day. Make sure that he doesn't need you to do anything for him if you're a stay-at-home mom. And you can do that for each other, vice versa, because I think a lot of women will respond to that and say, well, what am I, like his slave? Like, I'm just going to check in with him and he doesn't have to check in with me. Like, my day's tough also. I think, ladies, that guys will naturally do that if you do it for them, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys are interested in a deeper conversation about that, I'd be happy to have it. I haven't really talked about this type of stuff on my channel in the past, but I suspect that it would be a rather interesting conversation for sure. Maybe more of a nighttime conversation. But I'd be happy to have it. And, honestly, I would love to have people involved in the conversation, because just hearing me talk about it, I'm sure, is not all that exciting. So that is all I had for you guys today. Please do not forget that tonight we do not have a Somewhere in the Middle show. We moved it to tomorrow. So we will have a great show for you tomorrow. We only moved it to tomorrow just this week because Suni had a prior engagement. But we will have the show on Wednesday. So please make sure to go to Somewhere in the Middle on YouTube. I think it's Somewhere in the Middle USA on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe over there. Support the channels in any which way you can. Make sure you're subscribed and you like this video. I hope you guys like today's show. I had a good time. I didn't want to put too many topics in it like I did last week, because I feel like I just really crammed in a lot of stuff last week and it was a little long. So just let me know what you guys think, if you guys just want short topics like this. And I hope you guys are enjoying the new content so far. I'm trying to do a little bit less politics over here and a little bit more fun mixed in with some news. But that's all I've got for you. You guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to come over to Instagram and engage with me over there, because I always talk to you guys over there as well. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting, and have a good one. Bye.
I feel you passing by. The midnight sadness grows. I love your lies. I see you passing by along a lonely road. Oh, how I love the night. Time goes by, I feel so heavy. 2 times, way too many, and I'll go again. Baby, I'll go again. My mind's